welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be one of my ranking videos. So every so often I will kind of just gather up all the products that I've done first impressions on, and then I will rank them. So it's just a really good way to just do a follow-up on things that now I've used more than once. I've really gathered my thoughts on them and just see where they fall now, because a lot of the times first impressions aren't necessarily my final thoughts, and that's what we're going to be doing. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't yet. I have 10 items in front of me, so let's just get started. I actually have less than I thought I was going to have. If I'm not talking about anything and you've seen me do a video, I just don't feel comfortable doing a ranking style yet. I still want to give it a few more tries, but we're just going to go in with number 10, and I think that this comes to no surprise to anyone. Number 10 is going to be the Bobbi Brown Jadestone palette. Probably my most disappointing product of 2022. I kind of feel bad at how much I've been like shitting on this palette, but I just don't like it, and I was very just overall disappointed from this palette. I mean, I will link the review up above, and just any videos that I've done on these products, I will of course link. I just was so excited for this palette. I love the color story. I love that you have just like staple mattes in here. They're all browns, and then you can really just jazz it up with like these grungy green gold, the green, the emerald green, this gold here. I was ecstatic for this palette. I couldn't wait for it to come in. I tried it and it was horrible. It's the first palette where as I was blending, like the pigment was going away. I've seen people talk about that in videos, like the pigment just disappears, and I never experienced that until this palette, and now I understand. It's the weirdest thing. Just if I could give this like a negative 10-star review, I would. I'm highly disappointed in this palette. I had always wanted a Bobbi Brown holiday palette year after year. They always intrigued me, and this is just, it was so disappointing. Like I said, probably one of my worst products that I've tried in 2022. That's how much I dislike this product. Now, number 9 is also definitely just a fail. After number 9, we maybe go into like the meh category, but 10 and 9 for sure just fails. And this goes to this bronzer. This is the Tower 28 Bronzino in West Coast. This is weird. Like, I don't know what else to say about this other than I used to see people talk about it all the time, so it had always been on my wish list to get. I finally picked it up and like, what is this? It's so sparkly and weird. It's glossy, it's sticky, it's just nothing good. The shade doesn't show up. I could maybe see this, like if it wasn't this color, maybe on deeper skin tones, I could see it maybe being like a good highlight. That's about it. Like maybe if it wasn't so glossy, you could use it on the lids, but I don't really go for like that glossy lid look. The packaging is cute. I mean, I'll give it that, but I just really don't like this at all. I can probably just see myself decluttering it. I don't understand this product. I don't understand why it was even talked about to begin with, but I tried it and now I know that I don't vibe with this product. So that is why I put it in at number 9. Number 8 is very similar. It's the Tower 28 blush in Magic Hour. So I thought about putting these kind of together, but ultimately like that bronzer is just terrible and this is okay. We're kind of like in the okay category, go forward. But first of all, it's very difficult to open. I have to like get my tweezers and like snap it open just to get it open. But here it is. This blush isn't bad. Like I said, I'll give it like an okay. It's like a 5 out of 10. It just isn't anything to write home about. Maybe during the summer months, once I'm just more into like creams and more of that natural summer look, I'll reach for this more. But as of now, it didn't blow my socks off. I still just overall don't understand the hype on the Tower 28 products. And now, of course, like everyone's talking about the Tower 28 mascara and I want to try it, but considering these are the two products that I tried from the brand first, I'll probably just hold off because these didn't knock my socks off. The blush is definitely better. It at least has more pigment than the bronzer. The bronzer is just like sheer gloss with glitter. This was nicer. It kind of has like a very sheer natural blush look. So it is nice. It's just not something that I really reached for or wanted to reach for. So that's where I put this. Moving on to number 7, I have another blush here, and this is the Pat McGrath Holiday Blush in Nude Venus 2. So this blush is okay. I ranked it higher than the Tower 28 because I think that it's better than the Tower 28. I just think out of the 10 products here, this is nothing special. I really like blush, but again, it's just not something that was just so special that I thought, oh, I have to get this blush. I have to wear this blush today. That never happened, which is why I'm ranking it just a little bit lower because of that. It's a nice blush. Like, I'm glad I have it. I just don't think there was like any urgency to getting it. I wish I would have waited for a Pat McGrath sale versus buying this full price. I don't think it's worth full price, but it's a nice blush. Pat McGrath has a nice blush formula, so I don't regret having it. It's just not something like a holy grail blush at all. Number 6 spot is going to go to my one and only foundation that I've tried. So this is the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Longwear Foundation, and I have the shade 200. The shade 200 was perfect shade match for me. This is the first Fenty foundation that I've tried. I do also have the Ease Drops. I just haven't tried it yet. And this was good, solid middle ground here. I wouldn't say, that I want to reach for it. I definitely have other foundations that I love and just always look good. But I was expecting this to not perform as good as it did, and it exceeded my expectations, which is why it's coming in at number 6. I did like it a lot. I didn't wear it too much to kind of get like more feel of how this foundation is, but I would say it's solid. It's not good, it's not bad. I think though, if you have normal leaning dry skin like me, you won't hate this foundation. It's nice, it's solid, but there are definitely others I just prefer over this. It's just not like the worst thing I've ever tried. So it's just in the middle. That's it. Number 5, I kind of went back and forth on if I even should include this in my ranking because I've tried this formula before. However, I did try a new shade. Ultimately, I just decided I'll just throw it in. So I am talking about the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize, and I have the shade Rose Gold. So as I mentioned, I have the shade Oyster Pearl, I think it's called. So I know how this formula works. It's very pretty. There's a swatch of Rose Gold. I do like it very much, which is why I put it in at number 5 over just those other products. I like this more. I think that the formula is really solid on the Eyes to Mesmerize. And overall, like, I want to pick up more shades of this. I really do like the formula. I think they're easy to use. Do they beat out my Auric? Absolutely not, but I would say it's a close second to that. I do plan on picking up more eventually. It's just on my never-ending list of things to pick up. Solid product though. If you don't have any of these, I really would recommend them. I do like the Oyster Pearl color just a little bit more. I think you really have to go for something specific when you do the Rose Gold, and that's why it's coming in at number 5. Let's talk about number 4. This was probably the most surprising thing as far as my mind changing on this product. Number 4 is going to go to Pat McGrath, and this is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfecting Blurring Under Eye Powder, and I have the shade Medium. So I don't think I gave this like a stellar first impressions. I wasn't just really impressed by it. I didn't think that it did much for being just an under eye powder. It really just seemed lackluster. You're not gonna see it too much on my hand here. But then I was editing the video where I tried this on, and wow, it was way more blurring than I thought it was. In person, like, I have bad eyesight, so sometimes that's why it takes me a little bit longer to really get my thoughts on things, because I just can't see all that well and I'm trying to do a video. But this, I was watching the footage, I could not believe how blurring this made my skin look. It was incredible. And then I've continued to use it, and this is a fantastic powder. I'm so glad that I've given this more of a shot, and I'm a little sad I've been sleeping on it. I mean, I did just swatch this on the back of my hand here, and you can even see just on my hand, like how much more blurring it is. This has the powder and this doesn't. It does a great job blurring. I see some people talking about this, but not in like a raving kind of way. I just see people using it. I am very, very happy with this under eye powder, and I am going to continue to use it. Now we're getting into the products where I was excited to continue to use them, and that's ultimately what I look for in products. Like, I wanna be excited to use my products, not just like me. I kind of have to test this out, see how I feel about it. Like, I was excited to continue to try this. So that's why I put it in at number 4. We just have top 3 things that I think beat this out just a little bit. So let's get moving to number 3. For number 3, I have the Fenty Beauty Diamond Balm in Royal Icing. So again, this was a product I hear everyone talking about. How many carats is very, very hyped up. Still see people using and buying that product despite how old it is. I want to say it's at least 4 years old, probably more like 5 or 6. I chose the shade Royal Icing, and this blew my socks off. It was so pretty. I really just thought it was going to be a glitter bomb. And it is. It is definitely a glitter highlight. You can see that, but I mean, I'm speechless just like looking at this, because there's something so special about it once it's on your skin. The swatch doesn't really just show what it looks like when it's on your cheekbones. I think it is so beautiful. It definitely is like a look. I wouldn't wear it every single day, yet I would wear this every single day just because I want to. This highlight, I just was thinking it was gonna be way too out there for my makeup preferences, and it's not. It's like, it's exceptionally highlighty while still being subtle. I don't know how to explain the magic of this. It is just so beautiful. If you haven't tried the Diamond Balm because you've also been thinking it's just gonna be so glittery, it's not gonna look good on you, I highly recommend giving it a shot regardless. I think I saw on Sephora that they have like a little mini holiday set. So if you want just like a mini one, which is even better because I love minis, I'll never get through an entire one of these no matter how much I love it. Try that out, because I guarantee you will fall in love and you will love everything about the Diamond Balm. I cannot believe I waited so long to try this. I am just head over heels for this. Number 3 and number 2 were neck and neck, but ultimately I decided to give the number 2 spot to another highlight, and that is the Pat McGrath Holiday Highlight. So this is in the shade Venetian Nude. It's a very tough word for me to say. And it has this like beautiful pan embossing. I ultimately decided to rank this over the Fenty Beauty just because it's definitely more of a shade that I would just wear every day, and I don't have to worry about what I'm pairing with it. It's just a very universal, friendly highlight. You can wear it daytime, you can wear it nighttime, you can wear it with purple, green, blue, any kind of eyeshadow look. This highlight will work for it. It just beat out the Fenty Beauty just barely by like a small hair. I'm glad I got this. I still wish, just like the blush, I had picked this up on sale. I don't think it was like urgent, have to have like that special where I couldn't have waited 6 weeks to get it. But very happy I have this in my collection. And dare I say, this might be my favorite Pat McGrath highlighter that she's come out with so far. All right, we're at the number 1 spot, and it is going to go to a complexion product. I've noticed a lot of my rankings, the number 1 spot usually goes to a complexion product, and that's because complexion products are just my favorite. I love them way more than doing eyeshadow, any of that. Just base, foundation, concealer, powder, those are my favorite products to review. So number 1 is gonna go to this Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Concealer. This concealer is just amazing. I have had this on my wish list for quite some time now. Mel Thompson used to use this all the time. She went through like tubes and tubes of it. It was her holy grail. I have the shade 3 here, and it lives up to the hype. It does everything that I want in a concealer. It's very blendable. The shade is fantastic on me. It's long wearing. It gives the right amount of coverage without looking cakey. It doesn't crease. It's just the best concealer. I mean, right now, I think my top 2 concealers that I tried so far before this one, the Huda Beauty Faux Filter is my number 1. I love that concealer. And then the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Concealer, I was also really liking that concealer, and I felt like that concealer had more versatility over the Huda because the Huda has a lot more coverage. It's definitely my most full coverage concealer, and the Charlotte Tilbury works well with a full coverage foundation, a medium coverage foundation, a light coverage foundation. But this Giorgio Armani, I don't know if I like this or the Huda Beauty one more. I think it's like neck and neck. I'm gonna have to, I think, wear them like side by side and see which one just overall performs better, because this just completely knocked the Charlotte Tilbury off of second spot and took over. Just like the Fenty highlight, I am sad that it took me so long to try this, but better late than never. I'm really happy I have this in my collection now, and I can see myself completely going through an entire tube of this, and I can't say that happens very often. So if you haven't tried this, I would recommend it. It is hyped up for a reason. This is not just a hyped up product and you don't know why, like the Tower 28. Like, I see why this is hyped up. It is every bit as good as people say. That's gonna complete my ranking though. There were just less products because I am gonna do 2 of these ranking videos in December. Since I have more products than I normally do, I decided it was better to have 2 short ranking videos than one just really long one. I still have a lot of products that I'm testing out, the Lisa Eldridge palettes, just a lot of things that I want to get more thoughts on. So expect another ranking video more towards the end of the month here, but I'm going to leave you all here. Hope you're having a great day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, everyone.